Hello for the 24th Sunday in Ordinary Time, but it's not ordinary because we have the feast of the exaltation of the Holy Cross. And I titled this uh, My Cross, Your Cross, Christ's Cross. Let's look at that. Well, the readings are all three of the readings. The reading from Philippians and the reading from John's Gospel, all three of them. Okay. Well, I'd like to just share a few of my crosses in life so that you might pull up in your head your crosses in your life or your cross or whatever. But we all have a cross to bear. And the cross, and how does that relate to the cross of Jesus Christ? Well, here are a few of the crosses of my life. And I'm sorry, but these are pretty personal, but I think they're cross, at least to me. First one, why did my mother die or have to die when I was in the eighth grade and just about to graduate and go into high school? Why couldn't I be like all the other kids? It wasn't easy. Well, even earlier and so forth, when I was in the second grade, why did I jump on my cousin and get entangled in his legs or something, which broke my leg when I was on crutches for 6 weeks? And then why in the morning when I got the cast sawed off, not my leg, the cast sawed off, did I go down to my friend's house, slip on the ice, and break my leg a second time in another place? Another 6 weeks on crutches. Spastic kid. Hmm. Cross. Yeah, it was for me. Then way back, or when I started to become a man, I guess, or got my education, or why did they, speaking of that, why did they send to Innsbruck, Austria, right below Germany, for 4 years, go to Austria and study at the University of Innsbruck, and for 4 years, and don't come home until they ordain you a priest if you want to still be one. And then when I got there, I did go to the University of Innsbruck. It was an honor. But why, in God's name, were all of the classes taught in German and Latin? And I knew neither language. Why me? It was difficult. Hmm. And then I made it and decided to become a priest. Or the other one, as far in my life, I thought this is a quick one. Why did I fall in love with two people while I was a priest and work that out in the priesthood? It wasn't easy. Hmm. Then, but the first assignment that I had, oh, the nice bishop sent Father Larry, the fresh priest, to the worst, the meanest, the hardest, the most threatening pastor in the Diocese of Covington for a few years. Maybe that'll shape him up. I don't know what the bishop thought, but it started out not a good idea. Hmm. Hmm. And then in the priesthood and went, came to the Newman Center and stayed there for 10 years, up to 17 years, really. And I wound up to be a baby pastor after Father Moore left. And then when I left the Newman Center, I decided I don't want to go. I want to go back to Northern Kentucky and just be with a small parish with my family and go on. The bishop says, I didn't. I turned down going to Christ the King because I didn't want to go to another big parish and I didn't want that. Period. And this personnel board gave me a new parish up in Northern. The bishop calls me and says, "Come on up for a few drinks and dinner." And he asked me, "I'd like you to go to Christ the King. We need a person like you at Christ the King right now. Will you go?" Sucker Larry said, "Yes," because the love or the like or I really liked the Bishop Hughes. Yes. A lot of these things are terrible, but very often they work out well and they really shape you and form you and really give you a lot of pain. They're called crosses in life. Isn't it right? And everybody has them. You have them, I have them, we all have them. It's just the way it is. When I look out into the congregation or into this TV world or computer world, everybody has crosses in life. And the amazing thing is saying, why in God's name do I have to have this one? I do a lot better with that one if I had to have a cross. And that's the nature of having the cross. In a sense, it's not your choosing. It really is, I guess, in the nature of things or the way it is. And I think Christ asks each of us to take up our cross and follow him. You know, it's good to say when he says that, well, yeah, sure, you're God. I'm Larry, human, weak, sinful, good, bad, all the above. But we have crosses. Christ had a cross. Get this, two things. When he was about to take the end or the epitome of his life here on planet Earth to suffer and die for the whole world, he goes to the garden and prays to his Father at the evening. And he says, if possible, I don't want this one. I don't want this cup. Take it away. Give me something else. I don't want to die. I want to live, even in the state of my situations. I want to live. And he was so in tune with that suffering and what was going to happen and what happened that he began to sweat, not just saltwater sweat, but blood sweat. And finally, he came to the realization that it wasn't his time to take and make his choice. He did it for the Father. He said, not my will, but your will be done. I'll go through this. It even gets worse in the next few days. And toward the end, right before his death, he screams out, the human Christ, the Christ who is also divine. He screams out, Father, why have you forsaken me? And then he died on the cross. He died, carried his cross, died on the cross, and in his life, and in the church's life, the church says, accept your cross in life and live it to the best you can. All the people, all of us, we have a cross. And you know, the normal thing is, well, I don't want that one. I could do that one pretty well, but not that one that you're giving me. And they're multiple, or they're just some just super duper dynamic. It takes your sort of your whole life, whole heart, mind, and soul to deal with, and they're tragic, or they're painful, or they're just hurting. And why me? Or why this cross? We all have the same problem because we'd rather have an easier one or one that we think would be better. But that's not the point of this thing. Christ asks us to pick up our cross and try to do the best And those things that we are, our cross is a big negative, really a negative. But with Christ, just look at Christ. What he did for a time, 30 some years on planet Earth, and dealing with all these people and these apostles and all, and what he did, and it wasn't easy, and the end was terribly difficult. So he did live those years. He did suffer tremendously in the scourging and the crowning and the carrying and then the spear, the whole deal. He did it. And then a positive came after he died. God brought him back to life again. It's the resurrection. It's the new life. It's the new body with the same old soul. My soul, your soul. And there's no more tears. There's no more suffering. There's no more death. There's only happiness and beauty with personalities, with love, with God Himself. And that negative, that instrument of capital punishment, where they killed Christ and nailed him to the tree or the wood or the cross, the wood of the cross, and he suffered and he died and he got a new body. And it was all positive from there on and still is. So that's what I think we need to try to do is know our cross, can't choose your cross, but accept the cross that God, Christ, has given to you. Life is given to you. What's your cross? Or what are your crosses? Do I accept it? Do I love it? And will I bear it to its end? Which the end is really the reward, the positive, the eternal positive, where that cross was a temporary but long negative. Feast of the exaltation of the cross of Jesus Christ. And don't forget your own. Have a good day.